What would you do if your boyfriend's mother claimed she was dying, but no doctor could confirm it? When every visit to the hospital ends with her being sent home and your life turns upside down, how far would you go to help? This is my story, caught between love, lies, and the crushing weight of a woman who might be faking her illness. I'm 25, a full-time student juggling two jobs, and I live with my boyfriend, Liam, who is 24. About a month ago, everything started to unravel when his mother, Tanya, suddenly began claiming she was dying of cancer. But here's the twist. No doctor ever confirmed it. Every time she went to the hospital, they sent her home without a diagnosis. A nurse even whispered to Liam that she might be faking it at first. It seemed like a nightmare we could manage. Tanya stayed just one night in her tiny one-bedroom apartment. But that night stretched into a whole week of complete chaos. She refused to turn on the air conditioning or fans, claiming they hurt her skin, yet she blow-dried her hair daily. The apartment became suffocating, smelling bad, with everything needing to be kept dark and silent. She demanded constant attention and helped out the weirdest part. She would burst into our bedroom at 3 a.m., asking Liam for massages. We sleep naked, so this was super awkward for me. On top of that, she criticized our Buddhist souvenirs, insisting we replace them with a cross, which I reluctantly hung. She even suggested that we move out of our place and into her house, an hour away from where we both worked and studied. I was drowning. Between school and my two jobs, I was already stretched thin. My GPA was 4.0, and I was proud of that, but with Tanya here, everything was slipping. Liam, who worked full-time, switched to remote work to care for her. Even though his boss hated it and Tanya's story kept changing, one day she had an MRI scheduled. The next, a surgery was canceled. Then chemotherapy was postponed because of an infection. Then she had E. coli. There was always a new excuse, but no clear diagnosis or paperwork. Then things got worse. Her husband, David, who paid for all her expenses, was out of town. Tanya made us go to her house to collect her jewelry. Because she was convinced David would steal it after she died, she claimed he was an alcoholic. We were supposed to take her to the afterward, but instead, we spent 16 hours at her house doing chores. I folded over 400 pieces of clothing, cleaned every corner of the house, and felt like her unpaid maid. Not once did she say, please, or thank you. When we finally convinced her to go to the it was 5 a.m. Tanya insisted she check herself in. But instead, she sent us home. Just 3 hours later, she called Liam, sobbing for help, saying the IA rejected her. I started to suspect she was faking. Liam and I have both been skipping meals, losing sleep, and falling behind at work just to help her. Liam even said to me once, I'm just waiting for her to pass away so we can finally move to Europe. On top of that, he's been managing her messy divorce, liar meetings, and funeral plans. Meanwhile, David, the husband who funds all this, has been sending Liam angry texts like, I call bullshit and don't show up at my house, no. More. Then he apologized later. The whole situation was a mess last weekend. Tanya called again, but this time she wanted me to come alone because David was jealous of Liam. I had already told Liam I needed that weekend to study for final exams. Also, going alone to her house felt really sketchy to me. I love Liam and want to support him, but I don't trust his mom. Her constant drama and lies are wearing me down. Now I'm planning a 2 to 3 week trip to Europe to visit my mom, someone I haven't seen in over a year. Liam says he supports the trip, but called it a little selfish. He asked me, if I were dying, would you quit your job to be with me? If it were your mom, would you help her? I felt pressured to say yes, but honestly, my family wouldn't lie to me or manipulate me the way Tanya has done, so for refusing to keep helping Tanya and choosing to go to Europe instead. Asterisk last time, I shared how Tanya's mysterious illness took over our lives, how no diagnosis was ever confirmed, yet we were pulled into her drama and chaos. Now, I want to tell you how it started destroying my relationship with Liam and breaking me emotionally. The constant stress was suffocating. Every day felt like walking on eggshells around Tanya, who could switch from pitiful and sick 1 minute to angry and demanding the next. Liam was torn between his loyalty to his mother and his life with me. He started missing work more frequently, his mood darkened, and sometimes I caught him staring blankly, overwhelmed by everything going on. I tried to support him, but my own life was unraveling. Skipping meals became normal. I lost sleep worrying about exams, jobs, and Tanya's latest health scare. My grades slipped slightly. I felt exhausted and alone. One night, Tanya stormed into our bedroom again, this time yelling about how disrespectful we were for not honoring her wishes. Demanded Liam massage her hands for hours, complaining about the pain. I sat outside the door, feeling hopeless and uncomfortable, She constantly criticized everything about our home, from our Buddhist decor to the food we cooked. At one point, she insisted we hang a giant cross above the door, so I did, even though it felt forced. Liam was frustrated. He tried reasoning with her, but it was like talking to a wall. Meanwhile, Tanya's health updates became even more confusing. She'd call Liam multiple times a day, begging for rides, help, or just company. But whenever we took her to the hospital, she'd send us home or act fine. One day, she made us drive 2 hours to her house to pack her bags, saying she was leaving David for good. But once there, she refused to leave, asking us to clean and organize her entire house instead. I folded hundreds of clothes, scrubbed floors, and wiped down every surface. Yet she never once thanked us or acknowledged our help. It was like we were invisible to her. The worst was when we finally took her to the A, but they refused to admit her. Tanya broke down crying and called Liam to pick her up. I started doubting everything. Was she really sick, or was this some kind of manipulation? David's text didn't help. I call bullshit, one read. Don't show up at my house anymore, said another. Then he apologized, confused and hurt by the whole situation. Liam was caught in the middle. His family was falling apart, and so was our relationship. When Tanya asked me to come alone last weekend, I had to say no. I needed to focus on my final exams, something Tanya didn't seem to respect. Liam understood, but his words stung. If I were dying, would you drop everything for me? He asked. I felt trapped. In the middle of this chaos, I decided I needed to see my mom. I haven't seen her in over a year. I'm planning a 2 to 3 week trip to Europe to visit her, to escape this mess, recharge, and reconnect with family. Liam called the trip a little selfish, and I get it. But I feel like I'm choosing my mental health and sanity for once. This situation is tearing us apart. I love Liam, but I don't know how much longer I can handle this drama and lies from his mother. After everything, I've realized I have to make tough choices. Supporting Liam is important, but so is protecting myself. Tanya's behavior has been manipulative and exhausting. No clear diagnosis, constant drama, and a household turned upside down. I don't trust her, and I can't keep sacrificing my future for her. Liam is struggling too. He's forced to navigate divorce lawyers, funeral arrangements, and caring for a woman who may not be honest. His father David is angry and confused, sending hostile messages but still involved in the chaos. I'm going on my trip to Europe. Liam says he supports me, but I know he's conflicted. He asked me, if it were your mom, would you help her? Honestly, yes, but only if she was honest and genuine. I want to be there for Liam. I want to help his family heal. But I also have to put myself first sometimes. So am I the asshole for refusing to keep helping Tanya and choosing to go to Europe? I'd love to hear what you think. Asterisk, if you've been in a similar situation or have advice, please share in the comments. Sometimes love means knowing when to step back.